Mastering time. When, in defining relative clauses. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our grammar series. Today, we're going to delve into an interesting aspect of the English language, the role of when in defining relative clauses. This little word plays a big role in our sentences, and today we'll be mastering how to use when to indicate times. Defining relative clauses, also known as identifying or restrictive relative clauses, give essential information about the noun or noun phrase they modify. This information is so crucial that without the relative clause, the meaning of the sentence would change or become unclear. These clauses usually come after the noun they modify and are introduced by a relative pronoun like who, which, that, where, or our star for today, when. Here's a quick example. Do you remember the day when we first met? In this sentence, when we first met, is the defining relative clause that specifies which day we're talking about. Without it, the sentence, do you remember the day, would be vague and incomplete. Now that we understand what defining relative clauses are, let's focus on when. When is a relative pronoun we use to introduce a relative clause referring to a time. So, when do we use when? Well, when is used in relative clauses to refer to a time, a year, a day, a moment, etc. Essentially, any instance that marks time. Here are some examples. I will never forget the day when I passed my driving test. It was a time when mobile phones didn't exist. In both sentences, the defining relative clauses, when I passed my driving test, and when mobile phones didn't exist, are crucial to understanding the time being referred to. It's important to note that when is not the only relative pronoun that can be used in sentences about time. That and which can sometimes be used instead. However, their use is more general, while when is more specific to time. For example, all of the following sentences are grammatically correct. I'll never forget the day that I passed my driving test. I'll never forget the day when I passed my driving test. I'll never forget the day I passed my driving test. The version with when gives a stronger emphasis on the time aspect of the memory. And there you have it. The role of when in defining relative clauses is to indicate a specific time. It helps us to provide essential details about the time being referred to in our sentences. So, the next time you're recalling a memory or referring to a specific moment in time, remember the power of when. We hope this video has been helpful. Remember, practice makes perfect. So try to use when in your sentences to reinforce what you've learned today. Happy learning!